Hello and welcome to Build the Millennium Falcon issues 64 and 65. I am back from another hiatus which I didn't want to be on. The problem was I had missing issues over the Easter break. My local newsagents messed up completely and I had 3 missing issues which really delayed the building of the Falcon, obviously, because those issues were kind of essential in terms of framework and hull plating. And without those issues, I couldn't really continue with the future issues I did get. But that doesn't matter now because I'm back and I'm going to be doing some catch-up videos over this bank holiday to catch up, basically. Okay, so just before I get started, let's have a little catch-up time. I am not doing the helmet collection as a subscription anymore. I'm just kind of going to buy the helmets if and when I like them, because I saw there was some coming which I don't really care for. So they will get thrown up when I get the ones I like. Is that it? No, also, during the parts that I've been off, I have finally sat down and I've painted my bottom. The bottom of the Falcon, of course. I finally got round to get going painting on that. I'm not a confident painter by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I tried to customize my own Marvel Legend figure, a Gwen Stacy figure, and I've failed spectacularly on that, so I'll have to send that off to a friend who's very kindly going to sort that out for me and paint that for me. But the Falcon, I think, has come out all right. I'm happy with it. There might be a few little touch-ups I do in the future, but on the whole, I am happy with it. It's not screen accurate. It doesn't necessarily match the images that we've seen or the studio model, and I'm okay with that because there are parts on that model which I wasn't too keen on. My idea of the Falcon was a bit skewed by seeing kind of harsh streak lines and things like that. I mean, you'll see more when I show it off at the end of the video, but just for those of you who are expecting kind of a really nicely painted screen accurate portrayal in my model, that's not going to happen. So I'm sorry about that, but I will show you what I have done at the end of this video. On a personal note, I do have a Patreon account. I usually put a link at the end of the video, but I think it's missed by a few people, so I'm going to put it here. The reason I've set up a Patreon account is just to get a little extra income in terms of the future projects that I plan on doing. Personally, I can see in the future I won't be able to financially do all these 3 projects, soon to be 2 projects. I'm talking about, of course, the R2-D2 After the Falcon and the DeLorean, if that ever comes into fruition. I just need a little bit of extra. I'm really not looking for much, okay? $20 a month will be fine. I just thought I'd ask you guys, as you've been so generous with me in the past, and your ongoing support is fantastic. And if you like the videos, then this is a way you can help if you're so inclined. But you really don't have to do it. I will try and do as much as I can. But your support and your love and your care and everything, all these things that YouTubers say, which seem really cliche, but it is actually true, and you don't realize till you actually put yourself out there and do videos of your own. I just want to say thank you for your ongoing support, and there will be little kind of incentives in giving me just like $1 a month, which are all on the site. So I'm going to stop waffling now, and I'm going to crack on because it's been so long with looking at what comes in issue 64 and issue 65. Okay, so as you can see here, I've already opened up what comes in issue 64 to get the last part of the jib out. Here is a photo of what it all looks like completed. Where the Han Solo figurine is the piece that we get in issue 64. It is looking very, very nice, very sturdy. Fantastic for supporting the top part of this model. Speaking of which, if we just open up this issue here, we get more hull plating. Like in the lines here, not much weathering on this one apart from this little blaster point here, which actually, now that I've painted up the bottom of the Falcon, don't bother me as much. They actually look really nice and a nice little addition to all of the Falcon. So I'm not going to do any work with these like I said I would, because they're actually looking quite nice. Holes here for connecting pipes. Oh, are they holes or are they blaster marks? No, they're just little blaster marks. That's nice. And this little triangle bit here. We also get, of course, more of the framework, and then, of course, the screws. We get these gold screws here and 2 pin connectors, more black screws and more silver screws. That's what you get in issue 64. And in issue 65, we get, and it won't be any surprise to you to know that it's exactly the same things at the moment. Oh, come on. Right, okay, we get more framework, which which is looking good. And then we get this other piece of the hull plating. More of these parts there. Yep, looking okay. Bump. And these screws you get, they're not screws, they're little kind of put in places. That's not the official name at all. So I'm just going to get these issues here, as well as the missing issue 62 parts here, which are exactly the same, hull plating and framework. And I'm going to attach all of these to the top of the Falcon. And here we have the finished thing all completed, with this section here being the framework completed, and of course the extra hull plating attached as well. Just occurred to me that this is the last metal framework pieces we're going to do. I'm pretty sure that those two bits that come off the Falcon don't have metal framework pieces. I might be wrong on that. Time will tell. But yeah, it's a weird sensation that this is the last rib work that I'm going to be doing. We're definitely drawing to the end of this build, you know, with things like this happening. So yeah, there we go. That just spun me out a bit. One thing I have noticed with this part is that where the hull plating is connected to the framework via these holes here and here, and you know, dotted around like that, there are no holes for the framework pieces that we have done. So the last part of the hull plating doesn't seem to be able to connect, which is really bizarre. Obviously you got this piece here, which will be for the circuit board. Easy access to the circuit board, that's why it hasn't got a metal frame going across it. But yeah, I don't know how the last of the hull plating will connect. Maybe it come in one big piece. Maybe, I don't know, time will tell. Oh, actually, hold on. Yes, I think these three holes here, they're not being used, so they're probably going to be used to attach it. Maybe it's a maintenance thing. Maybe if you have to change up the stuff on the circuit board, you can take it all off in one big lump. I don't know, time will tell. But yeah, that's the end of the framework, and the circle is all complete at the top. I'm pretty sure I made that joke when the bottom was finished as well, but there we go. Well done, D'Agostini. It all fits together perfectly. It's looking fantastic. Yeah, that's the top all done. So now that we've looked at the top, let's have a look at the bottom. But just before that, I want to talk a little bit about the paint I used to paint the bottom of the Falcon. They are the DOA paints, which are absolutely fantastic. Not only for putting in your airbrush straight out of the bottle, but also for dipping your paintbrush in and painting with a paintbrush. So obviously we have the red, hull plating red and hull plating grey for the main prominent colours of the Falcon. We then have this rust colour, which I didn't use much of, only very lightly. I might use it more on the top because I think there is more yellows and stuff on the top of the Falcon. So yeah, I'll be using that a little bit more, I think. And then the rest of them are kind of different colors of dirt. You've got the hull plating blaster scoring here, the hull plating dirt streaks, and the panel grime. Now you'll see where I have used these when I show off the bottom, but this has got, I think the blaster scoring has got like a purplish tint to it, which is quite a nice variation. This is more kind of a solid, not quite black, just dirt, and then the grime leaves this kind of greeny yellowy residue. So these are the paints that I used, but I also did add some weathering with the Tamiya Weathering Master C, the orange rust here. I've used the gunmetal and the silver for things like the cockpit and things like that, but I did use the orange rust, which leaves more of a yellowy rust than this. So just if people are wondering what colours come from which when you see it, that's this. The Tamiya is the yellowy and this is the more orangey. So those are the paints I used. So without further ado, let's have a look at the bottom of this Falcon. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aliens, whoever, here is my painted Falcon. I'm very happy how it came out. I tried to keep the streaky lines emulating the studio model as much as I can, emanating from the centerpiece, but it is a little bit more subtle. They're not as strong lines. This area here I tried to keep darker in general, just to kind of mix it up a bit, so you can see it goes from lighter to darker. Yeah, it's a mixture of airbrushing and a mixture of washes and dry brushing with those paints I just showed you. Yeah, so I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while, and that's take the camera off the stand and give you a more close-up view of this paintwork. Okay, so we're going to focus on the center of the Falcon first, looking at Finn's gun here. Let's just take this off here. Seem to be struggling with this a bit, but there we go. Okay, so I have added some washes and a bit of rusting to it to kind of dampen the shine of it a bit. Added the black tips there, as you can see. And yeah, just a little bit of subtle paintwork on the gun there, which I'll just leave there. Yeah, more dirt here. Obviously the grey is from the paints I showed you, and then the red here with a little bit of paint chipping there and a black wash. Yeah, some streaks, and then as we move down more, we get some more washes here to really get the details of these kind of totem mask eyes here, the grime there, bit of rust there, as you can really see the grime up close, the grime color. Very, very nicely done here. More kind of solid colors here with a bit of fading, and oh, now this I airbrushed these parts here, and you can see that purple sheen that I was talking about with those parts, especially here. You can really see that purple sheen come through, and if we just swing back round and look at the engine part, more of the purple and black washing, and then I scratched off the paint just to give the textures, and then yeah, a bit of rust there as well, actually, looking closely, and of course grime. I did kind of cover a lot of it in grime because I do love that grime color. Swing round and you just see the different variations here. I tried to keep this red here as solid as possible because I wanted kind of a nice stark red, not Iron Man stark, but that could work as well. Move around here, you can see the streaks. You can see the different colors of grey on the flappy bits for the engine, and then I'll just swing it around here, these two grey parts here. Now these bits, like I say, they came out looking really nice when it's all painted. You can really see the streaks in this close-up here as well. Black wash throughout to really highlight the details. Bit of paint chipping there on that grey bit, and more kind of darker paint put on these protruding parts just to really make them stand out as much as possible. Bit of solid red there. And also, yes, now this part is dark. Blaster and engine wear parts here. I left the interior as painted as is. I didn't cover that with any more airbrushing or anything, just added dark around the outside and the streaks. So that is that. A bit red here. It's smudged a bit, this red bit, actually. I might have to sort that out to get rid of the red. Now, color variation. On these parts here, I've tried to make them more rusted. This is with the Tamiya stuff, so it is more yellowy than the orange rust of the paint. And as we move down here, black washing, and now you see the grime and the orangeness of the actual paint there. Black wash to bring out the details all the way to the tip, and this part here I just painted black for variation. Swing it round again, and we got the darker section of the Falcon, still keeping with the streaks as much as possible in this direction. Yeah, you can really see them there. and colour variation, especially on that landing leg cover there. Swing it round, you get the ramp. Didn't try to do too much with the ramp, just a bit of streakiness. I probably am going to stick the ramp down, actually thinking about it. I probably am going to stick it down because I'm going to put it in a table so it doesn't need to move. Some of you might be annoyed by that, but it's just personal choice. Not permanently. I'm not going to stick it down permanently, just with a bit of blue tack to hold it in place while it's in the table. Moving around here, and you really get a grimy panel here. I really wanted to kind of show off the grime, you know, faded paint here. This part came out really nice. I'm very happy with this came out. I didn't really work on it. I painted it red, I did a black wash, and then naturally at the corners here, it just faded. And if I just open up this panel here, it's very fiddly, but I will get it open. There we go. You'll just see the paintwork inside, just a bit of tissue there, so it doesn't run all the way through. Yeah, and I'm happy with how that came out. A bit more grime just here, and then we're back to the start. Just put that back on in place, and that is what the Falcon looks like all painted up. My Falcon anyway. I hope you like it. Now that that is all done, there's only one more thing left to do really, and that is to put the bottom of the Falcon onto the blueprint where it fits fantastically. And it's really nice after doing all that handheld stuff just to see the whole thing in one shot. I think it looks fantastic. I don't mean to blow my own trumpet, but I am very, very happy and surprised by how this came out. Like I say, I'm not the most confident painter, but I do think that it works. It's just a shame that it's the bottom of the Falcon, and when I display it, it won't be shown that much, but I know it is going to be there. So that is the end of this video. A month hiatus and I'm back. Like I say, I am working on others as well over this bank holiday, and they will come up in the future days within the next week, so stay tuned for that. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, I hope to see you guys again next time. So until next time, take care, bye bye.